Are we working? Here we go. Calling Cristy B. Morning chat. Feeling good. Like I should.
Hello?
Oh my gosh.
Chenzo, what's up?
Listen, I think I started it with like a video on. We can see you right now. There's a video in your ceiling. How do you look?
Oh my.
Would you believe me?
No, when you called me yesterday, I was like wondering if you could. That would have been a much better video. This one, I'm still working on my first cup of coffee. I don't know what I slept in and why I'm wearing what I'm wearing, but
is there a foreign? It
wouldn't be cute at all.
Is there a foreign person in the bed?
No, other than my dog. No.
You go straight. Let's just go over it. First of all, we have to catch up because I miss you so much. Let's go over a few things just real quick because we talked about this in the past, but for the entertainment of some folk, your morning routine is straight like wake up, piss, coffee.
Yeah. I like my coffee first thing in the morning, and now I'm up to like 2 cups now.
You don't hydrate?
One just isn't enough.
You don't do the hydration in the morning?
No.
Cristy
no.
B.
Well, there's water and coffee,
Well, yeah, okay, that's one way of looking at it. Well, listen, I got to tell you, I miss you, and I would like to catch up with you whether we were live or not. And I felt
Are we live? Are we for sure live?
I think we're for sure live.
Oh, awesome! Hey, everybody.
So,
well, I'll see you Saturday at my party, right?
Okay.
That is not a good response. Yes, Cristy, I'm going to cross the bridge because it's your birthday, and you asked me to. And for my birthday this year, in lieu of gifts, everyone is bringing a plant from my love.
Oh, I heard about that the plant thing. That is really adorable, actually.
It is, and I think it's adorable because you can give a woman flowers, and guess what? They're going to die probably before the relationship is over if you're involved with me, because it just doesn't really last that very long. But you can come to my love garden, the people that I know are going to stay in my life, and plant something that blooms every year. And I sit out in my love garden and I see a flower that blooms that reminds me of you or someone else. And I'm like, oh, take a picture. So I'll have it forever. I mean, this is my forever backyard. I'm in it right now.
Now listen, did you come up with that yourself, or did you read that in like a serendipity or something?
No, I came up with it myself. I honestly did. And I hope it catches. I hope other people do it because it's just a smart thing to do. I like house plants as well. I've got a lot of plants I've had for 30 years. So that's what I want. Like, somebody wants to bring me a rose bush and we can find a place to plant it in my yard, then that's it. But I do have the guys coming to finish it today, but literally a heart-shaped area cut out in the corner of my yard for my friends and family, my love garden. I think it's adorable.
Do you want to know, there's a laundry list of reasons why I continue to fall in love with you. Okay. Some of the things you say, some of the things you do, and some of the things you have no idea that you do that are just involuntary. But one of the things I specifically could tell you is that you just, for some reason, I told you this before, I love how no matter what shit you're going through, right? Because I know it's the beginning of the day. How are you? Good mornings, blah, blah, blah. I know you're a mother. You got things going on, good and or bad. But no matter when I'm around you or I get to talk with you, you're just a delight.
I am a delight. Thank you for saying that.
You really are, Cristy.
I have my moments like every other person and every other woman, but it's, for the most part, I feel like I've already gone through all of my aggravation and stress and disappointment, like all of those emotions. Like you're gonna get some, and some are stronger than others. So I try to keep the good ones.
Remember we talked about this before? Remember we've said like, what? How? how much effort is it really actually take for you to do what you're doing? Because obviously being in the genre in which you do for a living, the comedy scene, and kind of always having to be on, also being a woman, and I know women try to show face and look good, smell good whenever they're out and about. Why does it look like it's so less effortless for you? Or is it because you found some kind of perfect like syndrome that you like? I don't know. Like you feel my heart. Like I've told you this before, but like, why is it come off so effortless for you and involuntary when I feel like other people, and there's no one in specific, but just sometimes it seems like it takes 10 hours for someone figuratively to get out the door, when I feel like you can blow out the door and have like half mascara done and you're still going to kick ass that day. When did you, or how do you do that?
I guess with age comes less and less caring what people think. Like I honestly, at this point, I just, I do care what people think, because I don't want people to think I'm a jerk or something, but I am who I am, and I love me, and I don't have to read a bunch of self-help books every freaking day. I like to get them and pull things from them daily, and I'll read some things and I'm like, oh, it's inspirational and stuff, and I find that in different books and things. But I don't know, I'm in a good place in my life, so it's natural. It's natural for me to just be happy. I do count my blessings. I'm healthy. I'm living the dream job that I've always wanted, that I didn't know. I've done everything in my life that I've set out to do. I'm doing everything. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And then if I decide I don't want to do it anymore, I just decide I don't want to do it anymore. And it's okay. It's okay. I've got children to raise, so I can't be this grumpy old mama. And not that I'm not sometimes, because there's days where I don't want to get out of bed, and it's not because I'm depressed or unhappy. I'm just lazy. I'm just tired. My body hurts sometimes, and I hate that. That's when I have to force myself to get up and do something, because I'm like, man, I could lay in I do have a comfortable bed, but I'm like, I could lay here all day long and not feel guilty about it, because I can also work from my bed, which is not. It's not a healthy always thing to do, but I have my moments. But for the most part, I'm happy.
Listen to me,
and that's what it takes.
It shows so much, and it from a completely selfish thank you perspective. I love you, and I love talking with you. You're one of those people that there's been a handful of those really late in the evening phone calls, random morning Cristy phone calls, and I
love them.
You make me happy. And I want you to know something. I'm not doing you no favor, woman. I enjoy you charge me up. You make me, and like I said, another thing that I've always appreciated about you is that we as humans, we always can get caught up in the laundry list of shit that we're going through really easily. Like, stubbed my toe, nail polish came off, a little blood. Like, we go through the whole thing when we could have just summed up and said, I stubbed my toe today. And what ends up happening is, by consequence of doing so, we're all guilty of it. I think what ends up happening is, inadvertently, we sucked away like 9 minutes out of the 37-minute phone call you had of talking about the diabolical shit that you gone through, when it could have been, I actually feel a little good today, and I normally feel fat, but I feel a little skinnier. And it's like, you're that person that just is a delight. And I'll tell you this, you said something that I've learned recently, and you want to know what it is?
What?
I had a couple the other day, a couple weeks ago, come up to me, two dudes. They've been together forever, an older couple too. There's nothing better than like some just a little aged person. You know what I mean? Like, aged people, just they know they've got a little bit more time around the sun. It takes a little bit more to get them to chuckle. And if it's a valuable conversation with validity, and you came out of there knowing that you did good, you feel like I got a good A for today on my pop quiz. So this couple comes up to me, Cristy, completely out of nowhere, and says, like, I guess someone had built up my character prior to them meeting me. So they had they were anticipating meeting me in this environment. They were like very excited. I walk up, you know me, I'm high fives, hugs, and here we go. What's going on? And next thing you know, within like a curveball of life, they go, when did you fall in love with yourself? But the motive was so pure. It did not come off jaded with or a negative connotation or like go fuck yourself kind of attitude. It was literally made me think. I took a gulp of a swallow and I said, when I was 25. And I went into the whole story of how, what, and then, and I'm not going to get into that. But my point is this: when they told me that they, until probably the last 5 years, and I'll just tell you they were nowhere close to 25, they gave me this merit of just like life of you did it. You did it young. You did it now. I don't know when you did it, but when did Cristy B fall in love with herself?
Oh, well, that's a great question. There's times in my life where I've loved me more than others, because I've done some things I'm not so proud of in my past that I had to learn how to deal with and learn to live with myself after that. And we've all made some mistakes, but for the most part, I'm a good, genuine person. I've made some mistakes. It's a few regrets in my life.
You don't got to get into how many people you killed. When did you fall in love with yourself?
Kill them with look. No, I probably the last few years. I think during my 30s, I was married. I had 3 young children. I was not in a healthy marriage, and I lost every bit of me. Becoming a mom was my only focus, just being a mom. So, I was getting by doing everything for everybody because that's just what you do. And, for more than a decade, I didn't have my first child till I was 30. So probably, and then I was leaving my ex-husband around the age of 40. And Friday I'll be 48. It is 48. So probably.
I'm not gasping because of your age. I'm gasping the actual birthday's on the Friday.
Yes.
Oh, you're one of those lucky birthday day people.
Yeah, but my party's Saturday. You can show up on Friday, but I don't know what's going to be happening Friday. My party is Saturday. So I would say over the last few years, I finally got over some things, and damage that had been, I allowed people to, cast upon me, and realize that I am who I am because of everything that I've gone through. And, without sounding like when somebody says that, when did you fall in love with yourself? It's not like I love me. I'm freaking
no, I know.
Awesome.
I get it.
Look at me. I'm great. Right. It is. I do love me because I'm a good person. I'm kind and thoughtful and generous and crazy and wild and fun. And I if I could find the male version of me, that's it. Then I know that I got a good, honest man in my life and a good, honest person. That's, all of those things. You help me toot my own horn though, because you're the best person. If I am ever feeling down, I can just give Chenzo a call, and you make me feel good about myself. You have that quality for anyone, just to focus on all of their great qualities. And I don't feel like I tell you enough how important you are in my life, and how I love when I'm in Flagler and I just see you. We always see each other from across the room, and there's a big smile, and I know, you're social butterfly, I'm social butterfly. I know, heck, in a minute we'll make ourselves a meal, and I'm going to get a big old Chenzo hug. And even if we don't speak, I love being in your presence. Camille is like the sweetest, kindest, most beautiful, angel on earth. And the two of you, are so special in my life. If I am ever having a bad day, I can call you and you help me move past. You don't even have to know what's going on in my life. You're you're great with your words and inspirational. And I want you to know how much I love and adore you. and how grateful I am to have you in my life because you make me happy.
Oh, for goodness sake, woman. Thank you. And
it's hard when it's the other way around.
Yeah. Well,
that's how you make people feel. That's what you do. And you do it on a daily basis to everybody, not just in the community, but like everybody that you're in contact with. And I appreciate that. And I hope everybody else will send you a message and say how much they appreciate you, because I am right. Ask all of my exes. I am always right.
Well, listen, I can't tell you. I mean, I got all choked up over here, woman. I love you very much. And I want you to know this. And this seems to be happening more frequently than ever. And that is people saying the most wonderful things to me, stopping me. Majority of them are strangers, and they're cornering me, and they're doing what I hope people continue to do. And that is just love people, man. And it's so crazy because I'm not going to sit here, and I appreciate the appreciation, but I'm going to let you know, like I did recently to somebody, it is not difficult and it's not taxing, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. So thank you. But I want you to know, by me doing it, I don't feel that I'm in any merit of being rewarded or high-fived, except for doing it for others and loving people. And like, when we saw each other the other night, let's blow up. We were at we were dirty stayouts. We were at Johnny D's, right?
Yeah. And that was after. Was that after a show? I think I usually like to celebrate.
Yeah. And I saw you from afar, and you're 100% correct. And I can speak to you and with our eyeballs, and I love you, and you're just good. So I appreciate you letting me love on you. And here's the thing though. I don't know, like I think the only reason why people really starting to appreciate me is that I can tell. I was telling this to Shannon yesterday. I think people just got to be more vulnerable more than ever. Like, stop fucking acting like you're so cool. You're not. We're all weird. The video's off now, and it has been off for the last 5+ minutes because I look horrible. I feel like I'm not having a great morning from a vanity perspective, and I don't want the video on. So my point is this: we're all going through shit, right? And it's a matter about, I don't know, being vulnerable and just talking with people. And here's the thing too: sometimes maybe you shouldn't talk with people, but you do such a phenomenal job at, and you know what I love most about you? Like when you made that post yesterday about your children, like, what do I say to my children, blah, blah, blah. And I'm usually your number one love troll. I'm usually all up in your posts. Yeah. But I had nothing to add because I don't have children. So like, I didn't want to deter from the very sincerity of like, you're not really, are you actually not getting, if you don't mind, this is what I would have talked to you about this, whether we were on the show or not today. Are you, what I love, this is one of these another like love encyclopedia, about you that I love is this: when you share with me your situation with your children, the cliff notes, like what it's like being, I'll just always consider you an elderly 30-year-old, some odd woman. Fair? And
elderly. I think you're older. Okay.
And but when you share with me the woebegons, and then sometimes the happiness of having children that are now in their late teens, I find that rewarding because I get to tell people that I get to see and hear what it's like being a woman or a man growing up with children at every degree of life. And let me ask you, are you feeling like they're like moving on mentally now?
Well, they're 13, 15, 17. And so they don't need me as much, they can make their own breakfast and lunch. And I know enough, but it is the things, it's like one question to strike up a conversation. Like, I do feel like, they're going through changes. They're coming into adulthood. They're coming into who they are as teenagers and stuff. So I feel like I don't have the right questions to, get stuff out of them. Not that they need to tell me all about everything when they tell me what they want me to know, but it's just like, sometimes I feel like I don't even know what to talk to them about. Like, right. Do I go in my son's room and watch him play video games with his friends, or I can't get him to watch a movie with me for nothing, and it's just, I just feel like we don't they're drifting from me, and I get it. It's just hard because I keep realizing that they're starting. My oldest will be 18 next month, and they're starting their own path, and there's a place for me there, and there'll always be a place for me there. But it's like, man, you see, on these movies and stuff, like teens actually talking to their kids, and there's a lot of moments where we're sitting there and not saying anything, or we're driving in the car, and I'm like, oh, this is my time, and I'm like, well, what do I talk to them about? Sometimes it's that moment of, God, they're drifting. I'm losing them a little bit. So I'm struggling with that, and then they go spend half 1 week with their dad, and and it's just texting. We'll have a little conversation, and it's like pulling teeth. But I don't know. Like when I went to Tennessee, I was there for my dad's birthday. We sat out on his back porch and talked for hours.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't even know what we talked about. We talked about everything and nothing, and laughed and stuff. I'm like, oh, I want that with my children, and I know I'll get it. Right now, it's just I just gotta sit and be patient. I'm like, I'm just waiting. So that's kind of what I'm going through as far as my three teens. I don't know. Maybe we don't have anything in common. I try to tell them what's going on with my life, and it's like, oh, cool.
Do you think? I mean, you've been very open always with me, and it seems like a lot of your audience in general about going through your, have been gone through a divorce and being a single mother and raising your children, etc. Do you have a lot of? I mean, I know most of your women pack and some. So, do you utilize? Do women talk? Is this something that women, I would imagine, talk about a lot to each other? Like, have you confided in, like, let's just call her Susie Q, and you call Susie Q, and you're like, hey, listen, I've got my three teens, and like, there's no bloodshed, but like, I just feel like I'm a statue in my kitchen. Like, what? Or do women are women finding it to be more, and maybe men too, but I talk with more women. Are women finding it more almost reluctant to talk about that because it could be classified as borderline failure and not a good nester?
No, I think this is something that every parent goes through. Maybe not every parent, but I think for the majority that there is a stage in your kids' lives where they don't come to you for every little thing, every little boo-boo, every little, and it's you have to learn to deal with that. I mean, I remember when I was that age, I didn't tell my mom anything. I wanted to have and I had a great relationship with her, but it's your mom. I do find that if I have certain friends over, it's easier to, I think I'm a really, really fun mom. I do. I think I'm a lot of fun, but for some reason, I seem to be a lot more fun if there's someone else there. It could be a girlfriend. It could be if I have a guy over. It's like, well, that's rare. So they're very interested in, if I have a male friend over or something like that. My daughter did say I had a guy over, and we're all making sandwiches, this, that, and the other and stuff. And she, excuse me, she had a friend there too, and they were talking and laughing and everything. And then she said, like, the next day, she's like, you should have a boyfriend. And I was like, why? She's like, you're so much more fun when you have a boyfriend. And I was like, oh, that's insulting, but it's sometimes easier to have someone else over. But I think all moms get it. It's a phase that we go through. So when I do talk to my friends that have already been there, they're like, just wait for it. There's not a whole lot you can do. Guess you can try to find some new interests. My kids are starting to enjoy going thrift store shopping, which
that's exciting.
I absolutely love. So I'm like, if I can convince them to go to a thrift store, then just something. Trying to find more things to do with my kids. It's almost like now they just want to have a friend spend the night, so they have somebody to talk to. And I'm just.
Are you going to be that? Are you going to be that? I guess this word could be used in a positive or negative, but are you going to be the cool mom that lets them like drink and smoke and chill at the house? Like, are you the party house?
I don't want to say that, especially if this is being recorded. That would sound really weird. I am a cool mom, but I'm not going to be like, if you're going to drink at the house. Like, do it like every other teen and try to do it behind my back, you know?
Right.
Like, I'm not going to go purchase it for you and be like, all right, as long as you all are here, you know, put your keys in this box. No, you've got to finagle the way. But I make sure my children know, like, just my oldest is driving right now. My son has his permit, but you know, I won't accept drinking and driving or doing anything and just don't do that. They do know that they can call me. Of course, I'd probably be drinking too, so I'd have to no, I'm kidding. But no, I'm not gonna allow them to, but they're gonna figure out a way to do it anyway. I just think that's weird. I don't want it to sound as though I'm giving them permission to experiment. Like every other teen, you got to figure it out. You know, their dad's a recovered alcoholic, so we're very careful about. I don't normally have alcohol in the house. I'll have a bottle of wine here every now and then. I try not to drink when my kids are home. And I really only drink now during comedy nights, and I overdo it a lot, but that's my night. That's my comedy night. It's my, you know, I celebrate. So, you know, it would not be a good idea for me to try to be a cool mom.
Can you already start to figure out, have you started to label, once again, unfortunately, if they're listening to this, I'm sorry to your children. Have we started to label them that like this one is the smarter one, this one's definitely going to be the one who's going to be the more of a stoner, this one's going to be the like do we do that, or do parents do that to their kids mentally?
That's a good question. You know, in the beginning when they were young, I thought I had them labeled like who was going to do what, and as they're growing, I didn't get it right at all. You know, they're all changing, and I love every piece. I love every piece of it. If you'd asked me 3 years ago if I would go back to them being 2, 4, and 6, or a newborn 2-year-old, 4-year-old, or 8, 10, 12, I would say absolutely not. But now I would go back and do it all over again in a second. I didn't think you're sometimes in a stage and you're like, I can't wait for them to be old enough to do whatever.
Right.
And then they get old enough to do that. And you're like, oh my gosh, I wish they were too young. I wish they were young. I wish they needed me more. But as soon as I think I get them figured out, they change. So no, I don't have them labeled as who's going to.
What do you think that they say? I don't have
most trouble.
I have no
gotten it wrong all along.
Listen, I have no idea how the show turned into kid talk, but I love it. So if you don't mind, one more question with the kids. Yeah. Do you think how do you think they talk about you behind their back? Are they like, my mom's cool as shit, or she's annoying, don't go inside? Like what kind of mom are you to their immediate friends? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do they want to come in and say hi to you, their friends? Or are they like, damn it, she's home?
No, they do like to have their friends here. And I think they say my mom's cool as shit. No, they won't tell me that, but I think they say that. I went to the Hammock last week, and I have 2 of my children work at Hammock Beach Resort. Neither one of them were working that day, and you know, I was laying out in the sun. I was with some of my friends out there, you know, and I had a couple of drinks, and I met some of my daughter's coworkers. Now, when I say I had a couple of drinks, that means I was having a really, really good time. It was a good day.
Right.
And the next day, I took pictures with their little coworkers. And the next day, I was like, I sent a message to my daughter because she was at her dad's last week. And I said, I'm not sure if you're at work. I said, I was there yesterday and I met some of your friends. I said, I'm sorry if I embarrassed you, because I had a couple of beverages. And she said, it's fine. They all loved you. Right. So I was like, for a second, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be that embarrassing mom that's like, you know, hanging out at the hammock where my kid works and having a couple of cocktails. You know, I didn't want to. And she's like, they all loved you.
Right.
So I'm an interesting individual. I've got, I've got my own issues and stuff like that, but I'm,
Can we go on a tangent and yet again build you up as one of my many but favorite memories of you? Now, we know that you obviously have profusely preached against the fake date with me. We understand. We won't get into that. We understand. But you know that you fell into one. You fell into a trapped fake date with me. You remember that night?
Yeah, I don't profusely.
Yes, you do. Settle it down, bucko. Hey, we don't got to get into it. Point is this.
We don't.
Here it is. Okay. You had laid that. You drew the line in the sand and you were like, pam. And I said, okay. And then I don't even know. We end up hanging out that night anyways. And I have to tell you, you are one of those, you're literally less than, I'm not even going to say the number because then other people will get probably sad, but you are a very low number of people that I know. It's almost like there's a few people I can play soccer with and it's cerebral and I don't have to look at them and I know where they're going to be and how they're going to do it. And I don't have to worry about them like trapping the ball and doing their job, etc. You women are not just an alcohol thing, but like you are able to completely control and navigate your waters. And whether you're out late at night or if it's an awkward setting or if there's someone in the room that you know doesn't even like you, which I don't know if that's ever happened, but I could just feel it. You would execute precise amazingness. Sure. But I loved that night because I got to see, I was almost a wee bit worried because we obviously we were shooting for the stars that night. That was a great day. That was a fantastic day. No ceiling on it, no holds bar. And we were having fun. And I got to tell you, that was the night sexy fisherman boy with the sexy back.
Oh God, he's so adorable.
I saw him the other day again. And he is, one of the things that I find to be most attractive in any human being is consistency, especially when the consistent nature is awesome. For instance, even if you're an asshole and you're consistently an asshole, I feel like you almost owe yourself a high five. Good for you. You're consistently good at what you're doing. Right? This guy, when we first met him, remember how unbelievably, and I'm sure a wee bit of inebriation combined with it being nighttime, he just looked like he was like 6'5", 6'7". I don't know what he was. All that was man, gorgeous, owning the world, and the back. You love a back. Do you have a back thing?
Just for him,
okay.
Apparently.
So he has a really sexy back, and he was.
Maybe it's because he kept trying to run from me or something. I just kept seeing his back.
No.
He's a confident. He just seems like a very
country boy
man. Yeah.
He was a country boy.
Country boys, yep.
I've run into him now 2 or 3 times. Listen, where I fell in love with him, homeboy takes people fishing, I think, for a living. I think he's his own charter. We won't say his name out there, folks, so don't get all excited and try to find him. He's ours right now.
Well, if they're in Flagler, they figured out.
They already know him. Someone's posting right now like, it's Bobby. But anyways, he went and showed me. I ran into him the other day. In a nutshell, point is, homeboy goes out in the middle of the ocean. You know me and my ocean. That's my most number one romantic person. And he's showing me photos of him swimming with a whale shark. And in English, Cristy, that means to me the most amazing thing. I did not know that we had whale sharks near or around Flagler, period, done. And 2, he's in the water with them. And I would rather be with a whale shark than Jennifer Aniston. Like, that's how much I love a whale shark. So I'm blown away. We're making water love. I'm freaking out. Point is this, though. That night when we met him, I was just, I don't want to say I'm proud of you because it was like recreational play, but you're just, once again, you know how to handle yourself so well. Did you always have that, or did that also come with your elderly 30s?
Oh, handle myself after a few cocktails?
That's in general, like whether you're inebriated or not, just knowing how to navigate. Like, were you like that? And once again, these questions are completely sincere. I would ask you this whether we were live or not, and I don't even know if we still are. But the point is, when you were in your marriage, when you were married, I don't know if I really knew you. Were you more of a take the back seat to the life situation, or were you then the same girl now where you were a light of shining beautifulness that you just glowed and went into a room and people wanted to ask for your autograph? Or were you like, you know what I mean? You hear my heart there?
I know what you're saying. I went through my 30s. I don't feel like I was any sort of light for anyone. I was just not I just wasn't happy in general and with my situation. I was happy with my children and what I was doing, but my 30s were different than the person that I am now. That particular night, I mean, and when I go out, I am happy. I'm friendly. If I'm not in a mood like that, then I don't want to be anywhere. It's not like I'm going to go somewhere and try and hope that I meet someone to cheer me up, or hope that I go to a place that makes me feel happier. I am out because I'm already there.
Right.
And if someone isn't there, then of course I maybe joke around with them and stuff and help them. Some people need to go out when they're feeling down and hope that something happens to bring them something positive. That particular night, I felt like I truly embarrassed myself because it was honestly
the night you and I went out.
With the cutie guy, because I literally, listen, I am not a woman that approaches men. Like, I've had people say, I can see women go directly to a man and strike up a conversation. I do not do that. I don't have it in me. I don't feel it's necessary. If a man approaches me, that's great, but you will never see me see some guy somewhere and walk over there and try to strike up a conversation if it's somebody that I might even remotely be interested in. If they don't make a move, no move is made. And that's just how I've always been, and that's not going to change. That being said, that night I stepped out of the box. Not that I would date this guy or anything, but I just wanted to tell him that I thought he was a very, very attractive man, because no offense to these flagler guys, and I love everybody, but I either know somebody that you dated, or your ex-wife, or
right.
or something. So Cristy don't date flagler, and that's just how it is. But I don't see often men that I am actually attracted to. I haven't met anybody that, like, I was attracted to him, but I wasn't like interested in dating him.
Right.
But I felt the need to step outside of my comfort zone for some reason that night and just tell him that he was I found him very attractive. And I was like, oh my God, it sounds like I'm coming on to him, which was rare. I didn't want it to sound that way, but it turns out he's a good guy. And
by the way, listen to me. He loved it, because do you remember when you did it? The entire night you were trying to come off hard to get, which whatever, I get it. But my point is, there was ample opportunity to sit down with him or have banter. Him and I were making love, man. The dude was incredible. I love talking. He actually,
and a good person.
Do you remember when you actually made your attack?
It wasn't an attack. It
was a wonderful attack.
I felt like it was a turning point for me, because maybe I do need to have that part inside of me where I can, approach someone. I don't know. I see women do it all the time, and I'm like, oh God, no. If they don't, how do you know they're interested if you go over to them? Like,
no, I don't care. But it's not. You did it fantastic. I beg to differ. I think it's fantastic how you approached it. And once again, you made the best part about the entire attack was he just had sat down, and his girlfriend or a girl had sat.
Girlfriend. Oh no.
Don't you remember that? The girl sat next to him, and you were like, I'm going to go do it now. And I said, Cristy, go do it right. This is perfect timing, because you were going to leave. And I was on a mission. You had not done it. And I kept pushing you. And finally you went up. And listen, I talked to him about that afterwards. And let's be honest, he was Mr. Chivalrous, and he even ended up taking you home because you were not able to drive. And that's okay. But you didn't do anything for the record.
In all reality, I am an Uber queen, and I'm a 5-star Uber passenger. I Lyft, I Uber, you name it. I don't drink and drive. And I was waiting for my ride, and it was late night, and he did offer to take me home, which was very, very nice. And then for him to come back after it seemed as though I was pulling some Cinderella move, I left my freaking phone in his car. and I had to call my number from one of my kids' phones, and he answered him. He said, I got lost out of your neighborhood. I didn't know the house number.
You want to know when you're doing something right in life?
Guy.
Listen, this is why, even if I was trying to find reasons not to be around you, you know why I know you're good people? You're one of those few people. I guess if a lot of people do this, then thank God, because you live on the edge. But Cristy's phone is usually at like 2% normal. It's a full charge for Cristy, that I've noticed for you anyways. You just you just love to live on the edge. I don't know how you do that, but anyways,
I love it.
I could tell. And we're out, and we're trying to get you an Uber. Your phone it feels like it's literally melting away as I'm holding it. I'm thinking there's any second it's going to turn off. There's no, and your phone seems to really do well at about 2%. That's its mode. And I don't know how in the world you literally were able to keep your phone. Your phone was at 2% for the majority of the evening, and it didn't die. So you're doing something right.
Right. And he went in and charged it at his house and then brought it back. He doesn't live too far from here, what he said. But I also, just so you know, and I hate to tell my secrets right now, and I'm not sure if people are listening or what, but it's true that I'm a 2%er. You know, it's 20 or 2, but it's also an excuse.
Right.
I get it all the time. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My phone's about to die. Let me.
Oh, wait a minute. You're saying to me, you use the percent. I've never gotten that, by the way, so I feel so honored.
You won't. I will find a place to plug in to continue. We can talk for an hour and a half sometimes, and just I will sit right next to the wall if I have to while it charges.
Like high school days.
I am notorious. I am well known for having phone charging issues. I don't know why. Like sometimes it seems like it's been plugged in, but it's not. One dried out because I forgot to put the lid on, and one is in the seat of my car. My make it bag. It's my daughter.
This is my favorite part of life.
It's in my make it bag.
Hey, is this one of them have come out of the cave?
Yes, one of them has come downstairs to talk to Mama. Wow. It's my oldest daughter. The sparkly, it's a sparkly makeup bag. My oldest beautiful.
Don't let me steal you now. Don't let me, like, if you want to do mom time, it's very exciting to have, you're doing.
Right. Well, my cleaning lady is coming today. So and my dishwasher is broken. So I've got to clean, you got to clean before the cleaning lady comes. So
isn't that funny? Can we just, before I let you go then, isn't that another little like quirk about life? I don't have one anymore because my house is just a shithole all the time because of the dogs. And I'm like, I'm not going to even put someone through this. But I would clean my house before the cleaning lady came too, because it's embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's no secret. I'm not like organized in my home. And I leave stuff out. There's clutter. And that's just it. I will go days and days. There's that one.
Well, listen, I don't want to steal you from your daughter anymore. Listen, let's do this. You have your birthday Friday. You're going to be an elderly 30. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Listen, complete vanity. That hair woman is on point. Gosh.
Thank you.
And I can't hang up without someone has sent in a request. It's just more of, I think they would like to let you know they had a fantastic time on a trampoline.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Yeah, Shannon came over here yesterday. She's helping me set up a stage in my home because that's what I want. When you come to my house, you'll see, and you say, "Oh, it's at the party house." When you first walk in, I have a pool table and a dartboard. So you would think, yes. And now I'm putting a stage in my house, and in my backyard, I've got a trampoline. I've got I'm bringing the ping pong table down in the yard for the party. I've got my she shed, which I really want you to see and help me figure out what I'm going to do with it.
You need to start your own podcast, by the way. You are way late.
Well,
that's love. That's a love. That's me loving on you. I'm not saying do something. I'm just letting you know you probably would break the internet, and it would be the Cristy B, whatever you want to call it, and it would be a fantastic show. And I would love to be on it. And then you'll have your she shed. It would be fantastic.
Yes.
We've talked about this.
it would be great. It's a perfect, when you see it, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's a perfect spot. Like, I don't have electricity in it just yet, but it's baby steps. I've got a lot of work to do on my house, so it's just like one thing at a time. I can't wait for you to get here. I'm so excited. I truly do hope you make it.
Look, at least I'm not gonna lie to you, woman. I told you, I'm way too greedy to be in this big car full of people on a Saturday that I don't know any. Oh, and come on, you know me. I was telling this about somebody yesterday. I will always, you are a priority, but I know, what am I going to do? I'm going to sit around and they got the kids running around. What am I going to say? Hey.
No, there's no kids. My children will be here, but they can go upstairs to their room and they're older. There's no kids. Just hopefully you'll swing by.
Are you going to be out misbehaving? What do you got going on tomorrow, by the way?
What's going on tomorrow? Tomorrow, I'm actually, my friend Michelle Keith, we share our birthdays together, and she's turning the big 50, and I have a roast.
Michelle Keith turns 30, elderly 30 on Wednesday?
Yes. So we're doing a roast. So I've been writing all week. Like, it's been a great experience because I've had this kind of, I don't want to say writer's block, but I only came up with 2 new jokes during the quarantine and stuff. I don't have a lot of new material, and it's really bothering me. Like people that are coming to my shows one after the other, they're like, I booked the comedians and they're like, oh, you're not performing? And I'm like, haven't you heard that joke enough? Like, I don't have anything new. So I pulled myself off the stage for the most part, and just booking the talent, because I don't know. It's like I can't keep getting up there without getting new material. So
listen, I love watching the I'm a huge fan of Rogan and a lot of his immediate comedian friends. Big fan of Bill Burr. Big fan of Seinfeld. They always talk about you need your decompressing. You got to a lot of those guys take a year to come up with a 30-minute skit.
Yeah. It takes a long time. I mean, it took me years to come up with my 30-minute set because I was new in the business, and you got to practice, you got to tweak it, you got to work it in different clubs and stuff. So I've mastered my 30-minute set, and I love it. If I get booked in, North Carolina, or if I get booked for a show, I love getting up and performing. But when it's one of my shows, I'm hosting. That's it. So this writing for the the roast is helping me because you get to make.
Who are you guys actually roasting?
So I'm doing a roast. We're roasting tomorrow night. So I've been writing all week, and my crowd work is now what I'm concentrating on as a host, instead of getting up there and doing these jokes that I've written and performed a billion times. Now it's like I'm at the point now where I need to learn as a host to do some crowd work and stuff, because I'm open my rooms up in Tennessee.
Right. I know. I'm so proud. We didn't even get to talk about that, by the way.
It should be back. So, people came out and they're expecting me to perform, and I'm like, all right, well, I did for the first show, and now my next show is August 15th, and it's like, God, I hope they realize I've got I'm not gonna tell the same. It's 3 weeks later, they're going to be like, didn't you tell that joke, 3 weeks ago? Yeah. And I've been telling it for 5 years. It's a great joke, but I know you don't want to hear it again, and I don't want to say it again. So crowd work is what I'm focused on right now.
Well, I didn't even get to talk to you about this, and I know you got to go do mom things, but I heard tidbits about your Tennessee thing. I also saw photos, and one thing I'm jealous of, and I'm not even like a girl, I'm so jealous of how you just always look so good in photos. I don't know how you do it, but and I know that whenever someone posts a photo of me, I'm literally like, damn, I wish I could delete that right now. You just seem to always be ready. How do you already have star in you? I don't understand how you're just on. Well, what is that? Is it the hair?
Because I disagree. No one really likes photos of themselves. Every now and then I'll be like, oh, I actually like that picture of me.
Right.
But again, it goes back to, at this point, this is who I am. This is what I look like. This is my body. This is it. And I'm finally there where I don't care.
Right.
For like a year ago, I was like, oh gosh, take that picture down. I look so fat. You can't post pictures. I'm single. You can't have those pictures like that. And now I'm like, I don't care.
Is that what you think that it's subliminal? Do you think that maybe you really tapped into some kind of inner peace that you actually, and I know you're not being, I know that you're not just being like loose with saying that, like, I don't care, but I really can feel and see that you don't give a shit.
I don't.
In a good way. Like you don't.
In a good way.
And maybe that's the trick, because anytime someone posts a photo of me and I'm like mid taking a bite of a taco or something, I'm like, thanks, bro. That's
right?
Zippity doo. That's going to be great. And I don't even have to worry about acquiring a companion. I already have that down, but it's just like, well, damn, I look bad. But my point is, I have to tell you, I do care. And you know what? I think I'm going to try not caring anymore. Maybe I'll get sexier.
It's not worth it. I mean, like with my business, I have to post every day.
Right.
I've got to be out there. I've got to keep, I just got to keep things, where I need people to buy tickets to my shows. I need people to be interested in comedy and stuff like that. I need people to, share my stuff. And, so I do care in a sense on, of course, what people think of me. I do care, but I'm not so worried to where I'm gonna lose sleep over a bad shot at me, because someone posted something just yesterday and I was like, oh, there's that big old arm side view. I am notorious for it. Years ago I got in the Observer and it was the worst picture of me that could ever possibly be posted or printed, or the worst angle.
Sometimes I swear I think they do that on purpose though.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
And I was newly single then, and I had gone through this horrible breakup, and I was like, no. I mean, it was awful.
Right.
But now it's become a joke, and now it's like, I got bigger arms, and that's okay if you get a side view of it.
We're real.
I got some thickness in areas where it could be thinner, but I accept, I'm getting older and I'm changing. My body's changing. I'm learning to deal with it.
Well, I got to tell you, this, I mean, and this is like no joke, sincere. And I'm not just saying this to like make you feel better about yourself. You look gorgeous. And I love first of all, that your hair could be sold overseas to a land that needs hair. I mean, your hair is on another level. Your confidence, and this is what I think it's such an oxymoron, right? It's like Big Shrimp. You are so confident, but I know you're not, in a good way. Does this make sense? Like you're not really confident, but you accept. I don't know even how to put it and articulate it, but I can tell you, getting to know you, you don't walk around like, look at how great I am. You're literally going, I know that I could be better, but I'm going to be the best I am right now.
Yeah, I'm confident. I'm not overconfident.
Right.
I am happy with who I am, like inside and outside. Yes, there's some things I would change, but I don't want to be overconfident.
Word on the street is too, not to go there with this particular morning show, but I mean, those supposedly word on the street is those legs for days.
You have said that for years. I appreciate that you appreciate
consistency.
That I have been.
Remember for those that are fans of Cristy B, and if you're a boy, well, whatever, never mind. If you're just a fan of Cristy B's looks, there is a photo. I'm blowing you up, Cristy. There's a photo you posted, and it's the legs for days photo on the pool. You're at the pool. And I do believe the photo is public. So if you want to stalk her and you're friends with her on Facebook, enjoy the photo. I was remember I texted you right away and I was like, bravo, legs. Remember it was you, and I don't want to say other people's names because I don't want to blow them up, but you were with two other beautiful women at the pool. And I do believe you had said you didn't want to get into the water. Hence, that's how the compliment came up, because I go, you were just doing your little like gargoyle stance next to the water. They were in the water and you didn't want to get wet. I don't know why. You were going somewhere or doing something, but those legs were just out, and bada bing. That's the point of the story.
Well, here's something you don't know about me. Thank you so much for the compliment, first of all. But I'm like a cat when it comes to the water. Like I'm weird. I don't like to get my hair wet unless it's a hair washing day. If it's not a hair washing day, you're not going to see me getting in the pool because I do have to put a little work into my hair. And I don't mean to be all like I'm this, that, and the other, but it's not worth it to me. Like, if I go to the beach and get in the water, I probably won't get my hair wet if it's not close to.
Wait a minute. I've never noticed this. You really aren't. You've never been in a body of water with me.
No.
Is this because of fear or because of your tanning oil?
No, I love to swim. I'm great in the water. I love to do anything.
What's this reluctance to be a mermaid? Your hair.
I would so be a mermaid. I am. I maybe I was. I don't know why I'm like that. When I can't blow dry my hair and it has to dry on its own, I just it's just not comfortable for me. So
you want a good hair store? You want to
get a couple of drinks in me, then I get to the I don't care thing.
I did see one time,
but that's just another thing. Like when I go to the hammock, I'll get in the pool, but I'm not swimming out there. I don't know.
You're posing.
Weird. I think public pools are kind of gross also.
Yeah, there's always someone peeing in them, 100%. Listen, before I forget too, on a happy hair note, my Camille lost her curls a few years ago. She was devastated. Yeah. And all you women out there, you always want what you don't have. And she was a curly hair girl, and then she wanted her hair straight. And then what do you think she wanted again?
The curls.
Yeah. And she murdered them. They ran away. She scared them. They never came back. It had been years, maybe 2 years. I don't know. So she was really sad. She tried to, Camille's the witch doctor of the East. She tried she summoned spirits from other countries. I mean, it was unbelievable. She tried everything in her powers, and those curls wouldn't come back. So it was kind of a wash. Now, I love her no matter what. She's sexy both ways. I kind of have like two women in one because she would do it was really exciting. But here's my point. Shout out to Teal Tranter, and then also Julie, who does the water systems here locally. We got this water system put into the house, and out of nowhere, Camille's curls are back. And she's so excited, and she's wearing her hair differently, and people are like, oh my gosh, ooh la la. And I'm really excited for her. So Camille,
she's got the perfect hair for the beach waves and the beach curls, like she's got the perfect hair for that.
And now the witch doctor of the East has made some kind of new hair boopity boop, and she puts it in her hair, and it keeps the curls even with humidity. It's humidity proof. She came out to watch soccer with me yesterday. She wears my jersey. Isn't that adorable?
That is adorable.
So she has one of her own. I have my own too, and then we won. And we're, I got to tell you, I have to also be a little bit more. I didn't realize. So I guess I am very flattery, and I'm very complimentary to people, boy and girl alike. You've seen me compliment big, striking, handsome men's, and you've seen me do it to women's. Here's the thing. I didn't realize this. I got myself kind of a little bit in a carfuffle because we left the fields, and one of her girlfriends that she sits with goes, she got on her husband because he plays soccer too. She got on her husband because I compliment her more than her husband does, and I got him in trouble inadvertently. But for those men out there that have your women's, compliment these women's, man. Jeez Louise, like what are you guys doing? Like, come on. You made me look bad by you making yourself look bad. Like, I don't do it to make if anything, I should have said, your husband told me to tell you look good today. I don't do that because he didn't tell me to, but maybe I should start making that up. Like, hey man, that guy you've been hanging out with? He told me to tell you look good. So,
well, be careful with that. Listen. And you're right. I think everybody should compliment everyone, like as much as possible. I think that's so important to find that great quality in someone and let them know that that's a great quality. Women to women it's harder for some women to say, oh my gosh, you look amazing in that outfit. That's you look beautiful tonight. It's harder for some women. It shouldn't be. Guys complimenting women. Absolutely 100%, but also be careful about it and be tactful about it, because it can be, if I didn't know you and I didn't know that you were a happily married man,
right?
And you were just, someone that I met out, and you were saying all these things, I would think, oh my gosh, is this guy coming on to me? So you got to be careful. Like,
yeah, but there's
you don't do that.
That's one thing that people have actually said to me. My motive is right. So when your motive is pure, you can't, like, people can't fake, you can't fake it. Like if I said to you, Cristy, your hair looks gorgeous, and by the way, I think what they say now is sliding to the DMs. Like, I've never once slid into someone's DMs where I was like, but for real. Like my sliding into a DM is, girl, you look good. I don't even say that, but it would actually have something to do with something. Like, for instance, I may hashtag text you later today and say, like, trampoline, because it pertained to something earlier today. We had a chuckle, and I would maybe put the XO at the end, and that's my way of saying I love you and I was thinking about you. Bingo.
Yes.
So, listen, in closing, I don't want to keep you because we could do this all day, but listen, I don't want names, but do we have a new crush? Because we haven't talked in a while. Yes, I can feel a little crush.
I
don't say the names. I don't know why you're having like a.
I'm not even. I wouldn't, but I.
He's not here. He's in Tennessee. I can feel him.
No.
Yes. You got two?
Yes. I have a crush.
Yes.
And that is hard for me to say.
Why?
But because I haven't had a crush in a while, but it is it's
now this isn't, listen, I'm so sorry to do this in a public environment, but this is real. This is a new one. We haven't talked about this one.
No.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. I could feel.
Well, it's just a little.
Why are you being such a Debbie Downer about it? You already feel like it won't work?
No, I'm not. Gosh,
my God.
I don't even know how to say that. I'm not pursuing anything with my crush. It just feels good to have this kind of.
Does he know you exist?
Yeah.
No, that's a good crush. That's a start, Cristy. Okay, all right.
Yeah. But I'm not there. I'm not there in my life right now. Where
does he have any idea that you have a little butterfly in there?
I would say yes.
This is so exciting.
But I stand my ground. I'm not in a place in my life right now where I want any sort of relationship or anything. It just feels good to feel something.
It does feel good.
I just want to keep it at that.
Yeah, we're not going any further than that. So when we talk, right, and all the people I talk to, guy or girl, I like to know, do you have a butterfly crush? Because it's healthy. It's a healthy thing.
It is.
You got now, and like I said, one of the things I'm very, very, very open about. I don't have any experience for anything more than I've done. And the only thing I can tell you when it comes to the companionship factor, 7 years married, 3 years courted, old school, leave it to beaver. I had the butterflies, still get them, but it does require something exotic, like, oh my God, we have a trip planned or this. You don't normally, and there's nothing negative about this, but you don't just normally anymore just wake up with the butterflies unless you're doing something abnormal for the day. Like I said, for us, our highs are traveling, doing something, maybe going on an adventure, etc. Then you get the giddiness, and then I know that my life is set because I have nothing to worry about because I have my companion who I am lost in an oasis of love with. But there is something to be said about those that are out there in the single realm. It's a beautiful thing that you could potentially get a butterfly crush habitually. It could happen a lot. You can enjoy it.
It can, and that, I tell you what, is a great thing about being single is you don't know when you're going to turn the corner and meet someone that can give you that feeling of like, oh my God, like, and for me, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often. For some people, it can happen.
Right.
You know, it can happen with a guy every other week. I don't know. That's not in my person. I'm not able to do that. So when I feel a little something for somebody, it's always fun. It's fun. It's exciting, but I refuse to get in that situation of being single or being involved with someone to allow myself to get to that point with like, oh my gosh, like, when's he going to text me? Is he going to text me? Right. How do I respond to this? I don't even know how to do this. I refuse to get back to those stages of trying to manipulate the response to where, and then freak out if they don't respond. There's some great things about being single, but that part of it is like, I just cannot entertain having to put too much thought and effort into a relationship right now. So
Right.
the little, the little things here and there that make me happy, and the good morning, beautiful, text in the morning, and those little things are cute and fun. But yeah, I'm just at a normal level right now of where I've always been, yet there's just a little bit something extra for someone special, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
We won't go any further. I appreciate the candidness because, I care enough to know there's one in existence for you because you deserve one. A. B. That's your business. You don't got to blow it up. Or whoever you are out there, little crush boy, you're lucky because this Cristy's amazing.
He will not listen. I don't think he would.
You'd be surprised. I'm having more and more.
He wouldn't say anything.
Shannon's using her podcast as like a dating filter. Like it's a prerequisite. You have to watch her podcast before you can engage further. And dudes are loving it because it's like, oh my God, I really get to see, hear, feel you for a completely vulnerable hour or two or however long we went. It was amazing. It was magical.
I will invite a guy to a show, and where I'm performing and where I'm producing a show and stuff like that. I will invite someone if I'm interested in them to a show. If comedy's not their thing, then clearly it's not going to work out because that's a huge part of my life.
Right.
But I'm always like, all right, so if you can go get through the show with me and you see that's my person, that's who I am. And then the after party part, that's the big question. Can you deal with my celebration of my show? Then we'll talk. So I want for them to see who I am, and that's a great way to see if I'm someone that you would be interested in.
Right.
So that's a good thing. People, you got to show them everything you got, and then you go from there. Crushes are just a part of it.
We did get told by Michelle said tread lightly, so I won't go too much. That's it. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. That's it.
People are messaging?
Oh, but duh.
Oh, I see. I'm just sitting here talking to you as if.
No, you're doing great. What I'm doing. What I do now, what I'd never have done before in podcasts and whatnot, because it's like I'm sitting in person. I'm like actually reading comments and I'm actually liking them or engaging.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Could I have done that?
Yeah, I think you could. I mean, as long as if you could go on Facebook while you're on the phone, I think you can.
I could have. Oh my gosh, Chenzo, we've been talking for an hour and 7 minutes.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I said when I was like, all right, 15, 20 minutes, and you spend over an hour. Nobody sits and listens. Like, I could talk to you all day long. Did we cover everything?
I'm feeling pretty.
And happy birthday, by the way, Michelle.
Yeah, I already messaged her. I said happy birthday. She's 30, elderly, by the way. It's not. Very excited. No, 50 actually deserves recognition. So God bless you, Michelle. Please.
You don't have to say I am almost 48 years old, and I am extremely, extremely proud of that.
I am too.
I am not going to try to tell somebody I'm 29 or I'm 34. I am 40 freaking 8 years old, and there is nothing wrong. I am grateful. I am lucky I made it to 48. Well, I will by.
Do you remember, by the way, I don't mind saying it in a public forum because it's my little show. I saw you and Michelle recently, and I may or may not have did a little dance on Michelle.
Oh, well, I'm sure that was the birthday dance.
I didn't know.
Well,
so that
I actually am going to be, and I don't want to spoil anything, but tomorrow when I'm roasting her, I actually have a little dance for Michelle myself. Yeah. So it shall be a lot of fun. And this is a night with all of our comic friends. So I'm really looking forward to that. Like we've got a huge group of really great, funny comedians, that are a huge part of, like a separate community, a separate group of friends, that we, share the same passion. We, do stage stuff together. Michelle will be going with me to Tennessee on the 15th. She will be performing for my hometown. So that's super exciting. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with some of our comedy people tomorrow.
Okay. Well, that's, by the way, she said she was kidding, but she goes, I need a call. Hang up. I need to talk to Cristy.
Uh-oh.
That's Michelle. Listen,
I know. People are going to start wondering who my secret crush is. It's like, well,
I mean, no, you don't. You just did that. You had to go back there. See what you just did? You went right back to what we were supposed to stop talking about because he's there. I can feel him. Good for you. I was so.
It's just fun. It's just because I haven't had this feeling in a while, and
you deserve it. You know what I can tell too. It shows yet again this amazing character that you are. That is why I'm on the phone with you and why I'm so consistent with keeping in touch with you. Is the fact that you put your thoughts and who you are in this petri dish on a daily basis, and you reevaluate, and you're very methodical. You think you're a woman, first of all, so everything's already a science experiment. I've learned that about women. You guys have, everything is a petri dish with you guys. Everyone is a science experiment. You're learning, you're growing, you're constantly evaluating, A/B testing, etc. But most importantly, you amplify it with the fact that you are a mother. You are a protector. You have your den, and that's your zone. And you're very particular about who you're going to let all up in your spaces, girl. So I take your apprehensiveness to be overly excited as yet again, a wonderful character trait that you have. But I will say this as a caveat. Enjoy. I'm not here to teach you anything because I'm learned from you, but I will. How about I remind you that do enjoy it a little bit, woman. You deserve it. You're beautiful. You're amazing. Don't like I'm not saying you're jaded. You're the furthest thing from being a grumpy pants with a bunch of cats. I'm not saying you're that, but don't take it. Don't throttle back too much and you know what I'm saying? Like leave yourself in a position to be given a flower. You follow? Is this making sense to you?
It does. It does. Like my love garden.
Oh, the love garden. I love the love garden.
Plant things and watch them grow. But
Sarah told me to tell you she's coming over with the crown.
Sarah's coming over with the crown. Okay, it's the birthday crown. So we're getting the birthday crown. Oh God, we could talk forever.
I know.
I bought this crown Christmas this past year. So all my girlfriends, that when they have a birthday, it's the birthday crown. So Sarah was last, and I had Evelyn. Gosh, I don't even know. Well, Michelle is next, and then the day after Michelle, it's me. You guys
are legitimately doing a full-blown roast.
Yeah, a full blown roast for Michelle Keith tomorrow night.
That shit, like I get it.
I've written some great stuff. I really have, but one of the things, and not so much. I can't roast one of my best friends, and that's the thing. Like, of course, I can't roast someone who knows so many of my secrets.
Right.
I don't want to piss her off, so it's going to be a very gentle roast. And of course, you would never, talk shit about me. But yeah, it's gonna be hard. I'm having more fun with the other comics on the lineup because I'm the only female, and I get to go last. And then of course Michelle goes last. So all these other guys up there, it's been such I was afraid to do it at first, but it's been such a wonderful experience and eye-opening or creative writing for me because I was forced to write some new stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
You guys are stronger people than me because I mean I get it, but I wouldn't be able to do those things. Scare me. You know what I used to watch too growing up? I watched I used to always watch. I'm doing him no justice, but the guy that was notorious for doing the roast, the Dean Martin days, and that was it. Bill Nichols or Fred Nichols or something Nichols. Don Nichols. That guy he he branded me. I would never. I'm scarred for life seeing what he did to other people. So I would never be able to do that. But
well, Michelle and I did make a pact for our 50th birthday, so I've got 2 more years, and then I'm gonna have to sit there. And some people say when I say that, like I'm gonna have a roast one day, but like I wouldn't do it. Like some people can be really, really mean, and I don't think I would have anybody on the panel that's gonna be extremely mean. But I mean, what can they say about me other than I drink? Like everybody knows that. It's no big secret. Chrissy's notorious for drinking and Ubering home. Whoop-de-doo. Like,
and you don't go, and you have a phobia of water.
And I don't get my hair wet.
Boom.
I don't get my hair wet.
Did you enjoy the
it's not a phobia of water.
Did you enjoy the morning? I think I'm going to change the name to Morning Show. The Chenzo Morning Show.
Yeah, Coffee with Chenzo.
Nah, everyone's using the coffee.
It's going to be called, so
you got it. You
don't want to do that because there's like coffee writing in cars with coffee. Or
yeah,
coffee
no, I'm just going to be literally. You know what I've learned? No matter what, and this is what I tell people out there that are starting a business, brand, etc. If you're pretty much the product or the service, and you don't have like iPhones you're selling, just keep it your name, because everyone that look, Jerry Seinfeld, Ellen DeGeneres. Are you allowed to say Ellen DeGeneres anymore? I don't even know. I think we hate her now or something. I don't know what's going on.
What?
But, yeah, you didn't get the memo. We're supposed to hate her. I guess she eats children too. So.
Oh gosh, please.
Yeah. So
well, you know what? And here's the thing, and I know what you're saying about that. Like my company, Cristy B Comedy or Cristy B Comedy Productions, but because that's when I was, trying to brand myself and stuff.
Right.
But now, like when I put that out, like me starting something in Tennessee, people get the wrong idea as if it's, Cristy B Comedy starring Cristy B, So I'm like, of course, when I open up my comedy club, and I said when, not if, when I open up my comedy club, I will have to have it under another name, with Cristy B or something like that.
Well, I've learned a lot just by consequence of hearing Robin talk about it and the immediate comedians that I follow. Is it the Laugh Factory? Not the Laugh Factory. Is it the Store? I think it's called the Store. And that's like
the comedy store.
Yeah, and that's like that's like where everyone's come from, goes, and at least like still to this day frequents. But my point is this: maybe you need like your own store, but it's like built by it's you. I don't know. It's a very interesting. I told you I was talking about you yesterday to Shannon on the morning show, and I said how much I love. Once again, sorry to do this again, but just built. I love when anyone's pursuing their goal, their dream, whether it's whatever it is. It's very not common when you meet someone pursuing a goal that's so like you're pioneering it. Like there's nobody else out here doing it. And I know that's not why you're doing it. Like, what is no one doing? I'm going to do this. But I'm so glad that you're in my Rolodex of life, that you happen to be pursuing something aggressively that isn't like starting a restaurant, which there's nothing wrong with starting a restaurant, but you hear my heart. Like I love that it's right. Cristy B is going to Mars, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting in this spaceship with you. And I'm just so excited that you're doing it. And you know what? I don't think you probably realize this, but because I'm not a girl and I get to watch girls from the outside in, and I get to see how you guys communicate and grow and protect each other, you are such a beacon for so many women, whether they tell you or not. I'm not sure. Very much like how Shannon is, where you are just a rock climber of life, and you are just every time I look back up to the mountain, you're like a whole nother peak on like, and you're not even doing it gracefully. What I love, you just do it just the way, like you're bloodied. You're growing, you got chalk all over you, and you're climbing, and you're just going, you don't stop. And that makes me happy. And I'll tell you what, people like you are why I keep doing what I'm doing.
Well, I appreciate you. Again, you always make me feel like I can do anything. I'm grateful. I'm glad you called today. I'm happy that you can change what you're doing into something like this. Like you said, I mean, I'm dressed in like camo stretch pants that look like
Cristy, I told you we could see you.
Green. You remember the guy that got angry and ripped off his clothes? Like,
oh, Hulk Hogan?
No, it was a green The Green Man.
Hulk.
The Hulk. Yeah, my shorts look like something like the Hulk.
Oh.
It's not cute. So I'm glad that you can do this without like.
You want to know honestly why I'm doing it this way though? Because I'm not wearing any clothes. I don't want to wear clothes. I don't want to. The podcast has become I'm going to continue to do the podcast without a doubt, but I don't owe anybody anything. So as I continue to do them, they're going to be a little bit more spread out because it is a production. I got to put clothes on. I got this. I would have called you today whether we were on the show or not. You know that. Like that would have been.
And I probably would have told you who I was crushing.
Well, I wouldn't have let you. I don't want names.
But you should. That's it. You should always just make sure that when you're doing these podcasts, that you're naked.
Yeah, well, Camille won't let me. I guess I have to understand. I guess she thinks that I'm really sexy, believe it or not. But I was almost just gonna. I'm gonna start doing this with like the first 5 minutes, like with the camera on, so that I think people see that there's someone here because they don't. Even though I put in the description no video, there's still a lot of like, there's no video, it's broken. Well, I'm not doing it just for the sake of viewership. I'm doing it because it's putting out content and I enjoy talking with people and people say that it's enjoyable. But put it this way, I almost called you today on the video with no shirt on, then Camille gets grumpy. Not because of you, but the principle of me not having a shirt on the thing. I don't know why it's a big deal. I don't feel like I'm Mr. Sexy Man and I'm doing it to show anything. It's just more comfortable. But I did throw the shirt on, called you. There was a video on the call for like the first couple minutes, and then I slid the camera over and then took my clothes off because I don't like wearing clothes. So
Well, you got a thing going on, and I'm very, very proud of you. And I'm grateful that you give me the opportunity to get on here and talk about what I'm doing and what I'm continuing to go for. And I hope anybody is listening. And if you listen to all this, this is honestly a normal conversation between the two of you that we would have, whether you're recording it or not. I love talking to you. And I'm grateful that you allow me to get out there and let people know that I'm bringing comedy and entertainment to the area. And if you find me on Facebook, Cristy Comedy in Tennessee, and all those, fun little things, and find out where we're going to be with really, really, really funny people. And it's always a good time. At all my comedy shows, it's always a good time. How about I say our money back guarantee? I've never said that before. That's like an infomercial right there.
You should just say.
I do appreciate you allowing me to get out there and let people know what I'm doing, and hopefully we continue to sell out shows and just have fun. I'll get you at a show one day.
Well, you know me. I'm too greedy. I need you.
You're my tailgate comedy.
Yes, that's a new name. I haven't heard that yet. I'll go tailgate. I am your official tailgate comedy party or thrower guy.
Yes.
Yes.
You are, and I love you for it. Love Camille, love you both, and thank you. I hope to see you this week. And I get it. If you don't want to come.
Are you playing tomorrow, by the way?
My Love Garden plant party.
Are you playing tomorrow?
Playing tomorrow. Don't
you babysit in the morning?
I'm gonna have the baby for tomorrow, and then I've got the roast tomorrow night. So no, I will not be out and about tomorrow. Where's
the roast, by the way?
I gotta prepare. Like, I was literally in front of the mirror last night,
practicing. Where's the roast?
It's in Daytona.
Oh wow,
I can say or not, because I think it's like a secret underground place that's probably not supposed to be open, but is open. And so I don't know if I want to.
So the 10,000 people that are listening now don't go.
Well, message me, and you're somebody I know that I can tell you where it is. I don't know if I can. I'll have to ask if I'm allowed to disclose that information. So, but I got to make some Jell-O shooters today. That's on my list of things, and clean up before my cleaning lady gets here, and start getting my house ready for my big party.
Did you enjoy your?
See you there. I probably won't see you in Flagler this week. I'll be at the Salt Cave.
What day?
Thursday, because we're gonna celebrate our birthday. We're going to the Salt Cave and infrared sauna, so we're doing that Thursday, and then Friday is my day. I'll spend it with my babies, and then Saturday have the party, and then Sunday is my daughter's all-star tournament. So.
Well,
This is a busy week. This is the only day where I can just
play.
do whatever I need to do.
I love you.
I love you too. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.